Please leave a comment below. Of course, smash that like button and subscribe right here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We are talking maize and blue with a date against Penn State coming up. We got Clayton Safey on the line from the Wolverine Mag on Rivals. So the narrative on this defense has been a top 5 to 10 unit through the course of the season, get blitzed by Ohio State. I do temper that analysis when people throw that at me constantly, like it's been going on for 7 or 8 years. No, the Ohio State games were competitive, of course, no more than in 2016, but even the 2017 game was a quarterback issue, not a defensive issue for the most part. It's just been the last 2 games against the Buckeyes, rolling in with the top 5 to 10 defense in the country and getting burned through the air. This season, though, the likes of Noah Vedral throwing for 381, coming into the game with 5 TDs and 7 picks. We've not seen Rocky Lombardi do anything against anyone else except for the Maize and Blue. Of course, the secondary has been a huge issue. So I got to think that there's been a talent issue with only Daxton Hill coming back and having to replace all those starters. But at the same time, maybe Don Brown's approach may be wearing thin.
Yeah, I mean, you look around the country and you look at Northwestern is a team that you could look at and say that has significantly less talent than Michigan, but why is their production so good? Why were they able to hold Wisconsin to 14 points last
7
week? 7 points last week.
Yeah.
After Michigan allowed 49 to Wisconsin. I think that there's a lot of problems on this defense. And to be completely honest, to get the full story, you have to start with the opt-out of Ambry Thomas in the preseason, some concerns with the coronavirus, and you can't blame the kid. But then you look at the Michigan roster and you say, like you mentioned, there's nobody returning as a starter really, in the back end. Daxton Hill didn't start. He started a couple games last year because of injury, but even he wasn't a starter. Brad Hawkins was the only returning starter. At safety, the corners, Vince Gray was set to be a solid number 2 corner opposite of Ambry Thomas. But now he's thrust into being the number 1 corner. He's had confidence issues after struggling the first couple games. Jamon Green is a kid who stepped up a little bit as a redshirt sophomore, probably thrust into that number 2 corner role when he thought he was going to be maybe a year away from possibly starting. So you kind of move the timelines up of some of these guys. The roles are moved up. Vince Gray's now the number 1 corner. He struggled, like I mentioned. But it starts with the Ambry Thomas opt-out. And then you look at the front 7, who's also been gashed, in Wisconsin rushed for 341 yards a couple weeks ago on this Michigan defense, which is ridiculous. You have the injury to Aiden Hutchinson. He's out for the year with a leg fracture. Kwity Paye is out at least for the last couple weeks and could possibly return here in a couple weeks with a lower body injury. We're not exactly sure what it is. They're depleted, but at the same time, you mentioned the scheme is maybe a little worn out, a little run out. I happen to agree. The man coverage downfield when you don't have the horses isn't always going to work. They try to go to some zone at times, but that's not what these kids have been practicing, their entire careers at Michigan. So they struggle in the zone. The run defense, it has struggled. The injuries play a part in that, but they don't have enough beef on the defensive line. There's not enough talent, and these are all kids that Jim Harbaugh and Don Brown have recruited. So there's really no excuse for the lack of talent. You could say, sure, there would be a drop-off with some of the things that have happened, the injuries and the opt-outs. But to become what they've been top 10, I believe, or top 11 in total defense every year when Don Brown's been here in the last 4 years. This year, sitting more than halfway through the regular season, albeit it's a shortened regular season. They're in the 90s in total defense right now. So it's an unprecedented drop-off for this defense, and the struggles are really all over the place. You mentioned the pass defense. They get roughed up in the run as well. They did a better job against Rutgers, but we've kind of talked about it. It's Rutgers, so we don't really know.
Yeah, the frustration is certainly transitioned from beating everybody that you're supposed to beat and coming up against the elites and not being good enough to just pretty much deplorable play across the board. I don't know that a unit's playing well on the team, maybe the wide receivers for the most part this season.